Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's tutorial is on the spring inspired copper smoky eyes. I'm really obsessed with copper color these days. I have no clue why, but I have been lately noticing that bronze eyeshadows look nice on me, but copper eyeshadows they work much better. So if you're somewhere medium skin toned or darker than me or maybe even lighter than me, copper is the color for you. This is the color of spring. It's bright, it's there, it's in your face, and I love how this makeup turned out. So if you want to know how I get this look, keep on watching. So first thing first, we need to get the hair out of our face because we don't want any hair on our face when we're doing our makeup, do we? So we'll start with our eye makeup first. I'm prepping my eyelids using MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. I'll apply it with my fingers and then I'm going to set it with a translucent powder. This makes sure that it makes sure that your eyeshadow lasts longer and they blend easier. So for my crease color, I'm going in this pack eyeshadow in number 8, and oh my god guys, this eyeshadow is so pigmented. Even though it looks like bright orange in the pan, but once you apply it on your lids and blend it out, it is more like a coral color and it works really good for a copper eyeshadow transition color. So to just warm it up, or should I say to tone it a little down, I'm going in with this rainbow eyeshadow from Inglot, and you can see I'm literally trying to poke my eyes off. Hi, what are you doing, Sakshi? So yeah, we're going with the same fluffy brush and blending it out. Then this step is kind of unnecessary if you don't want to do. I thought that the shadow would look a tad darker than how it actually looked. This is not an eyeshadow, this is a blush by NYX. It's in the shade Stone, and I was just trying to get a little more dimension and shadow in my eye makeup. So well, that color didn't really work out for me, so I just blended it off. For the main colors, I'm going in with this eyeshadow palette by Sleek. It's in the shade Sunset, and I'll take this berry cranberry coppery shade and I'm applying this with a comparatively fluffier brush. I'm not going with a flat shader brush because I'm keeping the color contained on the outer corner. Now my key to smoky eyes is build the color in layers. That's how it'll stay longer, it'll stay put, and it'll be more intense and it'll look much more blended. That was like 3 hands in a row, but yeah. So if you really want to make your smoky eyes look blended, just layer the color instead of packing it on in one go. So for my inner corner, I mixed those orange and gold eyeshadows, and that I'm applying with the flat shader brush. Now I'm doing the packing action because now we want the color to be really bright, and because we are applying it on the inner half, so we're overlapping the cranberry color a tad, and then I'm going with the same petite crease brush I use for the cranberry eyeshadow and I'm blending it out in my crease. So with the smoky eyes, essentially the procedure for me is like layer the color, blend it out, layer the color, blend it out. So that really makes sure that the eyeshadow look is really blended, because that's how smoky eyes are supposed to look like, right? Blended and smoky. So for my center of the lid, I'm going in this pale yellow eyeshadow, and I did dampen my brush a little bit with a Pro Fix spray from Freedom Makeup, and oh my god guys, look at that color. It's so vibrant. It's very vibrant on its own as well, but once you dampen the brush, it's like one of those very foiled eyeshadows. It almost looks like molten metal on your eyelids, and who doesn't love that look? So once I've applied that in my center, I know it's not blended. I'm just intensifying the other two colors on the other end, and then I'm going in with the blending brush. So when you're using an eyeshadow dampened, I'd suggest wait for a second, let it dry, and then try to blend it, because if you try to blend it when it's wet, it's going to flake and fall off your cheeks. So not a good idea. So once that is done, I felt there was a little lack of depth in my eyeshadow. So I'm going in with the black eyeshadow and I'm applying it in the outermost edge of my eyelids. So I'm not picking up too much black eyeshadow. It's not evidently looking like black on my eyelids. I'm trying to make it more like a dark gray shade. So I'm just trying to get a little depth there. You don't have to use a black eyeshadow necessarily. You can go in with a brown eyeshadow as well. And then of course I'm going back with my fluffy blending brush and I'm blending it all out. Guys, I really need to blend my smoky eyes every time because I just need to be sure that they're blended. And then we are going in with mascara and eyelashes, which is done. So now we'll keep our eyes on hold for a second and go move on to our face. I'll start up with priming my face. I'm using the L'Oreal Base Magique. This is kind of one of my go-to primers, even though it's not meant for dry skin and I have terribly dry skin, but it really helps to kind of minimize the pores around my nose, and I have really huge pores around my nose and I really hate them. So yeah, I'm going in with the True Match Lumi foundation from L'Oreal. I love this foundation. If you've seen other of my tutorials, you would see that I use this quite often. It's very luminous, it's very hydrating, it's medium to buildable coverage, and the color W6 is a perfect match for me. So I really like to use it with the dampened beauty blender. It even intensifies the luminosity of the foundation. If you're somebody who has oily to combination skin, I wouldn't really suggest this foundation, and if you are using it, make sure to set it with a mattifying powder. For my concealer, I'm going in with this Kryolan Derma Color Concealer in the shade D5, and I'm applying that with this tiny teeny beauty blender from PAC Cosmetics. I've been trying out their beauty sponges lately, and I must say they are the best dupes for the original beauty blenders that I've ever found. So yeah, I'm going in with this patting motion. I'm applying the concealer, and later on I'll use the same dampened beauty blender to set my under eye as well. I have noticed if you use powder with a dampened sponge, dampen doesn't mean it has to be dripping wet, but you dampen it under running water and then squeeze the excess water out in a towel and then use it for your powder. So that really helps to smooth out all the creases. My under eye concealer, I noticed it stays for a lot longer than it used to with when I used to set with a brush only. So I really highly suggest, if you suffer from creasing under your eyes, I would really recommend using a dampened sponge to apply the powder there. And then of course we are going to set the rest of our face as well. I'm going in with the MAC Studio Fix powder for that. And then moving on to bronzing, my favorite bronzer ever. I'm using my MAC Give Me Sun bronzer. This bronzer is perfect for my skin tone. If you are somewhere darker than me, I would recommend trying it on your face once when you're going to buy it, because it might or might not show up on your skin tone. But if you're paler than me, I would highly recommend this. It's not too orange, even though in the camera it somehow looks a little orange. It is not orange at all. In person it looks really sun-kissed, glowy, beautiful finish. So for my contouring, I'm going in with this Inglot sculpting powder in the shade 501, I guess. 501 or 502, I think it was 501. I'll list it down below. So I'm going to use that to contour my cheeks. Whenever I have like intense smoky eyes on my face, I tend to use more contouring products on my face. I just have noticed that if your eyes are heavy, you need to make sure your face is sculpted. So for my blush, I'm going in with the Studio West blush in the shade Plum Shine. I don't know if you guys know that Westside came up with their own cosmetic lines last year, I guess. Last year, I don't really remember. But they have some amazing products and they are very affordable too. And I really like this blush on my skin tone. So if you are going to visit Westside anytime soon, I would highly recommend checking out the cosmetic lines. So moving back to our eyes, now I'm using the same orange eyeshadow that I used as transition color in my top eyelids on my bottom eyelash line. Did that rhyme or sync? Okay, whatever. So I'm using a pencil brush to do that, and once I have blended that nicely on my lower lash line, I'm using this flat shader brush and I'm using tiny bit of black eyeshadow, and I'm really closely applying that to my lower lash line and blending it at the same time. I'm not trying to bring the black eyeshadow too much low down on my lower lash line. You'll see me going back with the orange eyeshadow and blending out that black shade. I don't want it to be very intense black, but just to give a little bit of definition. So on my lower waterline, I initially planned to go in with a black pencil, but then I switched up for this copper eye pencil from Faces. This is in the shade Copper Rose, and it's a very beautiful metallic copper color, and it really ties the entire look together. It doesn't make the eyeshadow look very intense, but it ties the copper look together. For my highlighter, guys, I'm going in with this Makeup Revolution Pro Illuminator, and you'll see in a second. You'll see. I don't have to say anything. You'll see. Bam! Oh my god, I'm so obsessed with this highlighter. This highlighter is as intense as it can get. It's like 750 rupees and it is at par at all those high-end highlighters, and I'm making that highlighter moustache and nose button and highlighting my brow bone and everything. I really want to put this powder all over my face. I'm so obsessed with it and I really love it. I highly recommend trying this. Of course, once our face is done, we have to set the entire makeup so that nothing moves from its place. We've done so much hard work on this. So once we've set our face, by the way, I use the Freedom Pro Fix facial mist spray. For my lips, we are going with this matte lipstick from Lakme. This is in the shade Latte Rules. It's from their 9 to 5 range. I really like this formulation. It's one of the good matte formulations in the market, but I don't know why most of the shades have shimmer. This one doesn't, but if you don't like shimmer, I recommend swatching them on your hands once. So I'm going on top of it with a gloss from Color Bar. It's in the shade Nude Light. It's a tad pinkier than the lipstick. I thought that the lipstick was a little too peach, so I went on with this gloss. If you want it to be matte, you can leave it like that only. So with the gloss done, this is our makeup completed. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I really love how the look came out. This halo kind of placement of eyeshadows, it really makes your eyes look fresh and awake, and it really helps in brightening up your entire face. So in case you're going through a bad day and you're looking tired and you have to attend an event, I would really recommend this placement. So thank you for watching, guys. Please do subscribe.